Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and before we start today's video, it is officially draft week, which means go ahead and click the notification bell here down below by the subscribe button. That way you're notified whenever we go ahead and drop the latest videos this week. Hey, listen, a little birdie told me next couple of days, my final 7-round 49er mock draft will be coming out, so if you want to be notified when that one does, click the notification bell in the, just right below me, literally right next to the red subscribe button. That, again, you're notified because only 20.9% of you guys click the notification bell. We need to get that up to 30, 40, 50% of you guys, so go ahead, do it right now. All right, so the latest draft news, we'll go ahead and start there. ESPN's Adam Schefter says the 49ers are trying to move back. They are actively trying to make a trade to move back in the draft to go ahead and acquire more picks. We know San Francisco only has 7 picks and no picks in round 2, 3, or 4, so it makes a lot of sense why they want to go ahead and do this. But whenever we report this, it's coming from the mouth of Adam Schefter, which means it is very true and very legitimate because ESPN's Adam Schefter is really as credible as a source as they say. It almost feels like absolute certainty that the 49ers are going to go ahead and trade a pick in the first round. But you don't believe me? Here's what Adam Schefter said on his Twitter account earlier this morning. Quote, 49ers fielding calls on both their first-round picks, number 13 and number 31 overall, and are open to dealing either or both picks per league sources. After 31, 49ers are now scheduled to pick again until number 156 in the 5th round. No second, third, 4th-round picks. They want more picks. Now, we've talked about this at length here on the 49ers Report. We've explained to you guys and shown you guys that, yes, the 49ers do not have a lot of picks. Sure, 2 first-round draft picks is as good as draft capital as you can possibly think to have, unless you're Miami with 3 this year, but I digress. And then you got to wait. I mean, really, Friday of the draft, what are you going to watch? There are no 49er picks on day 2 of the NFL draft, and so hopefully the 49ers, if they do make a trade, will be able to acquire a 2nd-round pick or a 3rd-round pick or a 4th-round pick and go ahead and try and get some of that mid-level talent, the mid-round talent that can turn out to be very, very good for the San Francisco 49ers. So you've been seeing the picks roll across your screen. The question is, though, what would it look like to go ahead and make a trade? Well, lucky for you guys, we did a full video on this here at Chat Sports a couple of days ago on the 49er Report, showing you guys 4 mock trades the 49ers could do in terms of moving back in the NFL draft. And so here are 2 of those trades to me that make the most sense. The first one is the Dolphins getting number 13 overall and giving San Francisco number 18 and number 70. And again, these are all calculated via a trade simulator that shows fair trade. So this would be a fair trade for both teams. And of course, both teams aren't going to do an unfair trade for their respective team. But that would be a very good trade. The Niners wanted to get rid of number 13. And then if they wanted to get rid of number 31 overall, your trade would look something like this. The Chargers would come up. They'd get number 31. 49ers would then go back to the 2nd round, get number 37. So you're only moving back a couple of picks. And then the 4th round as well, pick 112 in order to go ahead and pick up multiple 2nd round or a 2nd round draft pick and a day 2 4th round draft pick as well, which would go ahead and increase their draft pick total to 8 because they'd still pick number 13. Now, let me just say this. 49ers aren't going to trade both of them. It's very unlikely the Niners will go back from 13 and back from 31. It'll be one or the other, and the question is going to be which one will they do, and who will they get at that spot. Let's say they go back to 18. Let's say they go back to 37. These are receivers that will be in play for San Francisco if they want to go wide receiver. T. Higgins out of Clemson. A lot of mock drafts have him falling to the very bottom of the 1st round, 32 Green Bay in the latest Mel Kiper mock draft. Denzel Mims is going right about 34 to the Colts, 35 to the Giants is the projected mock right now. Chenault has been dropping increasingly by the day, it feels like. He'll be a day 2 pick. And Jalen Reagor might be squeaking into the front side of the 1st round, the back side of the 1st round, I should say, but might be a day 2 pick as well. So those guys are all options. Answer the pinned comment in the comment section right now as the ad runs. What do you guys think? Will the 49ers make a 1st-round trade? Type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no. I think Y is pretty much the safe thing here. Unless their favorite players fall to them, then they'll probably stay put. But I think they're going to go ahead and make a trade. Let me know what you guys think down below. All right, trade rumors. This one coming from multiple reports, including 103.5 The Fan in Dallas, is that Dallas is looking to go ahead and make a trade for a wide receiver, and Marquise Goodwin's name was mentioned to be the perfect candidate, the prototype wide receiver they're trying to go ahead and add to Dak Prescott and Dallas's offense. And of course, Goodwin, I mean, what are you going to get for him? The quote from Mike Fisher from 103.5 said, it'll be something in the range of a 5th-round draft pick. Now, is Goodwin really worth a 5th-round draft pick? Well, I don't think so, and neither does ESPN's Adam Kaplan, who had this to say on Twitter, quote, as an exec from another team told me this week on Goodwin, unless he's willing to take a pay cut, With a new team, won't be easy to move him. Team sees him as a backup rotational deep threat. Of course, you see there, due $3.95 million base, $5,000 in per game incentives, and $50K for a workout. Total cash bonus being $4.5 million total money. So ESPN's Adam Kaplan is like, I don't know if he's going to be worth that. And you say, well, wait, why? He's not 30 years old yet. Well, this is why. I mean, the stats, good lord. 12 catches, 186 yards, 15.5 yards per catch, 1 touchdown last year. That is not worth a 5th-round draft pick, especially in this draft. People always DM me on Twitter, which is fine. At Real Thomas Mott, you can DM me, and they say, Thomas, what about this trade? What about this trade? And they have us giving away, like, Matt Breida for a 2nd and Marquise Goodwin for a 3rd. These players are not worth this kind of draft capital. I mean, Marquise Goodwin for a 7th would probably be a fair trade with the Dallas Cowboys, but what do you guys think? Let's just say we could get him, or remove him for a 5th. Would you guys trade Marquise Goodwin for a 5th? Type T for trade, type K for keep. I'd be typing T right now because, listen, if we got a 5th for Marquise Goodwin, I just said, that's nearly impossible. But let's say Dallas is crazy, Jerry Jones, you never know, and they want to do this trade, then it would look something like this, where the Cowboys would get Goodwin, and we would get their 5th round, number 167 overall, adding to our 5th round total, giving us, I mean, good lord, we'd have 5th rounds just coming out of our pockets right now. That's the round for the 49ers right now, based on where they are at. But I think that San Francisco is going to try to trade him, but it's going to be very difficult to do, as Adam Kaplan went ahead and explained. Speaking of things you cannot pass up on, how about some draft hats? 49er draft hats, they're still in stock. It's amazing because they've been selling like hotcakes at chatsports.com/49draft. But hey, what? They keep stocking them up because the draft is this week, and you need a 49er draft hat the way you look as though the players will look whenever they go ahead and get selected by our 49ers. Again, links in the description. They're great. To me, it's the best 49er draft hat we've seen in a very long time. Chatsports.com/49draft is the place to go ahead and pick one up. Other draft news, I guess kind of mentioning us, but more revolving around a player that we could lose. Well, listen, Denver reportedly is trying to move ahead of San Francisco to draft a wide receiver. Now, that wide receiver, according to the report, is probably going to go ahead and be Jerry Jeudy, but this is interesting that Denver, sitting there at number 15, wants to go ahead and make a move. Listen, there are a lot of teams that need a wide receiver, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Woody Page, who, of course, works in Denver and does some stuff for ESPN on, is it on Highly Questionable? No, it's on the number one, whatever that one is. I forget the name of that. But he says, quote, my sources tell me they go up to 8 or 10 to get Jeudy. So Denver looking ahead, jumping ahead of not only San Francisco, but the Raiders and Jets, getting to maybe 9 or maybe 8, maybe 10, and taking a Jerry Jeudy. And of course, your top 3 wide receivers that everybody wants this year is CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, and Henry Ruggs. But there are certain players that are loved by certain teams. I think San Francisco loves CeeDee Lamb, and I think Denver, like Woody Page said, is in love with Jerry Jeudy. It's kind of a, you want this, do you want that? There doesn't seem to be a wrong answer in this year's NFL draft, although I would take CeeDee Lamb if it was me picking, but I'm not a GM. I'm just a guy who talks about GMs here on the 49ers reports. Jets are there at 11. They probably want a wide receiver or a tackle. Raiders are there at 12. They probably want a wide receiver. They want a tackle, maybe a linebacker. The 49ers obviously want a wide receiver, maybe a defensive tackle. Bucks are there. They're a wild card, probably an offensive lineman. And then Denver. So you see how Denver wants to go ahead and jump ahead of them to go ahead and possibly get the wide receiver of their choice. We'll see how that trade intends to work out because Denver will have to give up a lot to move up that far. We talked about that, moving up that far, in a previous video this past week. What will be the first, or who will be the first wide receiver taken? Type L down below for Lamb. Type J down below for Jeudy. Type R down below for Ruggs. I have seen mock drafts that have Henry Ruggs go before Jeudy and Lamb, as crazy as that sounds. Which one do you guys think will go first? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, if you look up and to the right, or I guess below me right now, the red subscribe button is waiting for you, and the notification bell. We have surpassed 20,000 subs, and we're trying to grow that up to, I don't know, 22, 25, 30,000 subscribers. We're chasing the Raiders report right now here on Chat Sports. They got a lot more than us. We're going to catch them. Go ahead and click the red subscribe button the way you are subscribed, and also subscribe to our main channel at youtube.com/chatsportstv, because that's where you can watch the NFL Draft live, all 7 rounds. When the Niners make trades, you will know about it first with our friends, or with, I guess, us at Chat Sports for chatsports.com, in terms of getting you guys set and watching the best online draft coverage. We have it at youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, final bit of news here. I got an Instagram DM about this one, which I didn't believe to be true. I did research, and apparently there are some reports that Evan Engram apparently is a target right now for San Francisco to go ahead and make a trade. They are interested in trading for another tight end, at least getting another tight end, and Ingram's name has popped up according to NBC. Of course, Engram, again, is still on contract with the Giants. You'd have to go ahead and trade for him, but the question is he going to be worth the price of admission? Because past couple of years, I mean, he's been injured. Listen, 44 catches, 467 yards, 3 touchdowns, 10.6 yards per catch. Well, that was last season. And you go, wait a second, that's not very good. What's going on? Well, he's had a ton of injuries we'll talk about here in a second. And then you go, do we need another tight end? Well, what do you feel about Ross Dwelley? Is Dwelley a good backup? I think he's pretty good. But apparently San Francisco doesn't. I think they're trying to limit Kittle a little bit this year in terms of just maybe pull back the amount of catches a little bit because he had a ton of targets last year, and they don't want him to get injured. They want him to be a long-term solution at the tight end spot. Engram, again, 522 yards, 9.5 yards per game the last 2 seasons. So think about that. Last 2 seasons, he had a total of 522 yards. That's not exactly something you want to go ahead and write home about if you are Evan Engram. You think we need another tight end? Again, I think Ross Dwelley is going to be fine. Maybe he's not, but it's up to you guys. Type 1 down below for yes. Type 2 down below for no. I'm curious what you guys think in terms of needing another tight end. I did a mock trade, which is hard to do for Evan Engram. I don't even think the 49ers couldn't pull this off because Engram is worth more, even though I just said the stats were down, but there's no way they'd give up a 25-year-old tight end for a 5th and a 6th round draft pick, but that's the best we could do. We're not going to give up a 1st, have to give up a 5th and a 6th, and so that's what a mock trade would look like, although, honestly, if we were going to trade for Evan Engram, we would probably go ahead and trade out of the 1st round and use one of those other additional draft picks to make that trade. Now, maybe he is worth less than I think because of all the injuries. Concussion in 2017, the ribs in 2017, sprained MCL in 2018. He had the hamstring also, and then a foot injury last year that, of course, resulted in him only playing in just a couple of games with the New York Giants. Talent's all there, high draft pick, but is he going to be worth the price of admission to go ahead and make a payment? Well, up to GM John Lynch and our 49ers to go ahead and decide what they should do with Evan Engram. Also heard Trey Burton is another name to kind of throw out there. He threw the pass for the Philly special. So other names to keep a little eye on, a little bonus move there on the 49ers report. We keep you guys updated here on the latest 49ers news and rumors. All the time we have for today, the 49ers report. I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.